Hey there, my name is Christian Meacham and I am doing this project for the EDU 6000 for Dr. Posey. So I am talking about Lev Vygotsky. He is a Soviet psychologist that focused on the psychological development of children. So he views interaction with peers as an effective way of developing skills and strategies. So he is watching and just seeing how children develop. He's watching how they learn, and he's seeing that teachers use this strategy of peer interaction to help aid their less skilled students. So he sees this and he calls it knowledge through social interaction. So he sees that it's so important that our students are learning from each other, not just from our teachers, but from our students. And so he has three major theories: zone of proximal development, reciprocal teaching, and collaborative learning. First, we're going to talk about zone of proximal development, also known as ZPD. So the definition is the distance between the actual development level as determined by the independent problem solving and the level of potential development as determined through problem solving under adult guidance or in collaboration with more capable peers. So we see that through zone of proximal development, there are three major points or tools that the students use or even teachers have developed to use in their teaching strategy. So there is the line of natural regression, or actually these are the stages. I'm sorry, these are the stages of learning with assistance. So us as the teachers, this is what we're going to see as we teach a lesson or a unit. So we're going to see the line of natural regression. We're going to see them access cultural tools, and we ourselves are going to create scaffolding. So the line of natural regression is the learner after assistance. So this looks like the teacher teaches the lesson and assigns homework. The student is confident in class doing the work, goes home, and doesn't remember how to do the homework. So they need a little bit more prompting. They need a little bit more guidance. The next tool that they use is a cultural tool. So the student is now home and they're trying to figure out how to do this. So they are on YouTube, they are reading the textbook, and they're asking maybe a friend. So these are all the other types of assistance, maybe their parent. Those are the cultural tools, something that's around them that they can physically grab. And then scaffolding. So scaffolding is the breaking down of a lesson into smaller parts. This is something that teachers do all the time, and I think it's a very important tool, especially for those that are in special ed. So that's what I do. I am a special ed teacher. This is where I really see that the kids flourish, is when we break down the large unit into smaller units. So a really big part of incorporating the zone of proximal development is seeing that there is that line of regression. There is access to cultural tools, and there is access to the scaffolding. So whenever the teacher is not there, or whenever the teacher is there, it's known as the more knowledgeable other. So Vygotsky talks about the more knowledgeable other. They're there to support, right? They're there to coach and guide. So this can be the teacher, another peer, an adult, a coach, whatever it is, or whoever it is, can be this more knowledgeable other. And the more knowledgeable other can use effective scaffolding. So these are just different ways that you can scaffold. So you're gaining and maintaining the learner's interest. It is so important that the learner does not lose interest, because if they don't have motivation to learn, then they are not going to stay there. They're not going to learn. Making the task simple. So we are breaking it down to the simple parts, right? So I know that if we're teaching a math lesson, we are going to break it down to the very basic parts, maybe even go back and build upon the knowledge that they already have. So then we're going to emphasize certain aspects that will help with the solution. Well, remember, this shape has 4 sides. And if you're adding it to this shape, which has 2 sides, what does that equal? 4 and 2 equal. So if we're emphasizing the shape has this many sides plus this shape has this many sides, when they already have prior knowledge of adding, then we can go ahead and set them up for success. The next is control the child's level of frustration. This is very important. So make sure that you're taking frequent breaks, you're keeping them engaged, and demonstrate the task. So gradual release, right? We're doing it with them. You know, I do it, we do it, you do it, and then you know, from there on. So demonstrating the task is very, very important. The next theory is called reciprocal teaching. So this is used to improve ability to learn from text with these 4 skills. So they are maybe a little bit more advanced to where they don't need as much guidance. They are summarizing, questioning, clarifying, and predicting. So they are now reading that math book or that math text, and they are, okay, they're telling me to add these 2 shapes together, but how many shapes or how many sides does this shape have? Okay, it has 4 sides, so maybe this will be this number. So that was the process of reciprocal teaching. So it's using students' ability to learn from text. So they are already a pretty fluent student, a pretty skilled student. So then the third theory is collaborative teaching, or collaborative learning, I'm sorry. And this is a group member. So group members should have different levels of ability, or more advanced peers can help. And this has now turned back into zone of proximal development. So collaborative learning, this is now in a group setting. There should not be all of those that are on the same level of learning, but actually those that are scaffolded, right? So different levels. We want to promote peer interaction, and that kind of, like I said, it leads us back to the knowledge through social interaction, which leads us back to the zone of proximal development. So that is, in a nutshell, what Vygotsky created for us through psychology, that there are different kinds of learning, there are different ways to teach, and thank you for tuning in, and I hope you enjoyed it.